What's going on, everyone? Holy shnikes, everybody. This is the first on-screen live of 2025. My name is Andrew Jupin, and we're about to get into it today. We got a lot going on. We got a bunch of stuff to review. We got some box office to catch up on, and we just got to catch up with all you fine folk out there. Welcoming you all into the chat, as always. We'll say hi to some usernames in a second, but we got to say hi to our buds. Oh, also, I should say, sorry, just first and foremost, apologies to all the Bills fans out there that I know. Rough shit last night. Anyway, bring in some friends here to get ready to talk about movies and the money they've made. First up, you know him, you love him, Mr. Steven Sadak.
Why you gotta shit on the Bills like that? They did their best.
I didn't shit on them at all.
It's a sad story.
It's a sad story. They fucking blew it. It happens. That's sports, man.
That's
sports. Fucking sports, baby. You know, they tied it up at like the ass end right there. And I was like, now we got an overtime conference final game coming up. No.
Nothing doing. Quick question. Anyone have this LaCroix strawberry peach yet? It's quite delicious.
No, strawberry peach, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that.
Strawberries and peaches. There you go.
All right.
Together, nuts and gum together at last.
At long last. Speaking of someone who could eat a peach for hours, here's Mr. Eric Siska.
We better get paid for that LaCroix sponsorship, apparently. I want some money coming in for that. Speaking of money, how could you root for the Bills? I don't like bills. I don't like pay. I like not paying bills. I was rooting for the Dine and Dashers.
We should have fucking really dumb names like that for sports.
Why not?
Teams. The Dine and like that's what the XFL had, right? You know, like the New York, New Jersey Hitmen. Come on,
man! Oh my god!
Oh, and here we go, Mr. Librarian. He's back, and he's still reading. Here's Mr. Chris Cabin. Yeah, look at that.
Room to dream. He's dreaming right now.
Okay, I finished that chapter.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, good. Thank God.
I'm glad. What? Never one for successful time management, Chris Cabin.
You know what? Even Superman had kryptonite. You know, there's always going to be a problem.
How are you reading in that dark cave of yours?
Well, you see, the dew here gives some shimmer, and I can get wet tiles. It's kind of actually nice, Eric.
Do you have wet tiles in that room right now?
What, a cave without like a nice wet tiled around area? Come on,
yeah.
Now.
Oh yeah,
you got to dig it in a little bit, and then you got to put it on.
Dig the tunnel. Is it wet first when you dig that tunnel?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's moisture. Yeah. I mean, down here, it's not dry. It's
when you finally light that sucker, everyone's going to be surprised that that's not an ISIS flag behind you, but a Totoro flag.
Yeah, totally.
I'm surprised.
It could look. It could go either way right now.
I know.
Well,
I shouldn't. I had to replace me and the rug rather. So I put the books. I started doing the books instead.
I still can't tell. You know, Chris, you might surprise me. Pull up a journalist's severed head in a moment. I don't know.
Every time, yeah, just a case. Daniel, whatever his name is, I forget it. I'm sorry.
Pearl, yes.
Yeah, Daniel Pearl. Yeah.
And you'll immediately be asked to join the White House. What's going on, y'all, in the chat? Damon LaCornu, Foolish Hooligan, Simon Racine, Rose sucked. There's our sucked. I sucked. Tata Hababa, I'm so Rachel. Yeah, it's been a while. You know, this was like our winter hibernation, but we're back. We're here to talk about grosses. We're here to review some movies, and also gonna make you guys guess some fucking dumb old movies. Want to do some quick top of the box office, everybody. First one up, number one. January the 27th, number one at the box office in the year of our Lord 2000.
Do we ring in for these or?
Yeah, just kind of curious if you can guess. This is a Denzel Washington movie.
John Q.
No, The Hurricane.
Oh, the story of the hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
It comes the story of the hurricane.
Did Timmy sing that song in the movie?
No, apparently people were upset about Saturday Night Live that he did too many obscure Bob Dylan numbers.
Really?
Oh, here's an idea. Who gives a shit?
That's a great call.
Outlaw Blues is on one of the major records. I don't get that.
You don't want. You also don't want to do the Hurricane because that's got an N-bomb in it. And you don't want Timmy.
I want him to do that.
No,
we can end this Chalamet stuff once and for all.
Like, don't pretend that like he's doing obscure shit like his fucking 80s gospel shit that no one.
Exactly.
That would be great.
That would
Stuff
be
from
the ultimate
Saved.
trolling.
Yeah, get the stuff from Saved down there, or like As Good as I've Been to You. Get that stuff in there.
So here we go. 2011. On this day, top of the box office. This is an Ashton Kutcher romantic comedy.
Was it The Killers?
Friends with Benefits.
Oh,
The other one, Eric.
But yeah, Eric, that
Yes.
is these two movies, Friends with Benefits and No Strings Attached. I think the way people will tell it, this is the better of those movies.
Okay, I have not seen either of those. They both sound like episodes just from their posters and titles.
Oh, yeah.
They're both horrible. They're really not good.
You got to look at that poster. It's like, I'll talk about that for 90 minutes. Here we go. Number one of the box office, January the 27th, in the year of our Lord 2019 now. 2019, this was the culmination of a trilogy no one knew was a trilogy.
20. Okay, Split.
Oh, close.
Oh no, World's End. Oh no, damn. Oh,
yes. Everybody was like, "Wait, all those movies are connected?" Oh well.
Oh shit! Right. I forgot Glass was after Split. I thought the Glass. Okay.
No,
the Glass came after this, but I've not seen this movie.
It's not good.
Movie.
Yeah,
no, I like it.
No. I think it's pretty decent, but there's like an end fight that's very underwhelming.
Wait, something happened at the end of a Shyamalan movie that didn't really pay off.
And I went, wait, what? Little hint for February programming, by the way. And finally, top of the box office this day, January the 27th, 1999. Everybody, this is a lighthearted, feel-good, kind of sad, mostly sad actually, comedy with a now deceased beloved comedian.
Toys?
That's earlier.
That's Adams, close enough.
Yeah. Is this an episode? Can we make fun of the dying kids and his nose and his clown stuff? Is that
I never saw it. I don't know.
That's a good question because this is in the barrel currently for listener request month. I have not removed it. It's in the so it could be.
I like that.
We always get a flubber or two in there. Flubber is always in there. Jumanji
so let's
in there.
Yeah, so let's do it this way. Let's outsource right now, and then it'll be the fault of the people in the chat if other people get pissed off. But people in the chat weigh in. If we started doing Robin Williams movies, and again, like remember, we're older, we're gentler.
Yeah.
If we covered Robin Williams movies in the present state of the show, would y'all be like wagging fingers? What are you doing? That's what we want. Or would you be cool with us talking about Robin Williams? Because also, we love Robin Williams.
We mostly like Robin Williams.
Do Robin Williams. Philippe Sombrero says it.
There we go. Let's see. So Greg Bafuto says do them. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll have to do that.
Not toys as well. Jesus Christ, that
Rob in the Grave month. It's right there. There's so many titles we haven't done of his.
I think you just want to do that so you could say Robin in the Grave.
I do. I want to say that every week for a month.
We can only do it is if we recreate the great photo of Eugene Levy in Mighty Wind, where he's in the graveyard digging his own grave for his album Calling It Quits.
Calling It Quits.
Yeah, nice.
Oh my God, that is a good album cover. So we'll see, but it's so far it looks like the temperature's leaning. People would be cool if we covered Mr. Williams movies again. So we'll look into it. We'll see what happens. Unfortunately, the universe is shit. I wish I could say that, we're going to be looking at the numbers that a Robin Williams movie did at the box office, but those no longer exist. So let's see what slop we've been left to play in. This is Highest Gross. All right. Now, normally, like when we're away for this long, all the movies are completely reset, but that is not the case. This week, unfortunately, coming in at number 5, still farting along here. Moana 2.
Wow.
Look at this.
Still haven't done it.
I mean, what a good decision to not just dump this on Disney Plus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very
Absolutely.
Snubbed from the Oscars though. No Oscar knob for that.
I think that's fine, although that did fuck me with the Vulture.
Vulture game kind of fucked me over as well.
I was certain there'd be like a song nomination or some shit, but yeah, this was another 4.3 mil this weekend. The franchise or this movie alone globally $1 billion. So yeah, right move by far because you're not getting $1 billion in Disney Plus subscriptions. So this is also interesting though. This has made a shit ton of money, but it costs less than other movies out right now, sort of vying for the same audience. So fascinatingly, this only costs $150 million to make. So it is more profitable than both Mufasa and Sonic the Hedgehog 3 combined.
Wow.
That's how rocking and rolling Moana 2 is.
It just generally, I mean, I think we're I don't know if we're going to talk about it, but like the Mufasa thing, it's amazing how quickly that just went right under the radar. Like nobody,
because nobody wanted it.
Barry Jenkins, and nobody is interested.
Let's call it. Let's just call it the new Barry Jenkins.
It is.
I mean, I know it is, but it isn't. It is not though.
Now, like we'll get
it's
to
the
it.
New Mufasa movie.
Okay.
All right, let's just put a quick pin in nobody wants this for Mufasa.
Sure.
We'll address that in a second. Coming in at number 4, a movie that it seemed kind of I liked the first 2 and it seemed kind of sweet, but this weekend I totally greened out to Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Oh, wow.
I was having a good time with it. I did try to stick with it, but man, I was just overserved at my house.
Well, all you need to do is just log on Twitter. The entire movie is just in high res,
really
beautiful.
Oh yeah,
renditions of the entire fucking movie.
So, is this a good thing or a bad thing for you?
I think that's a bad thing.
Okay.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, stop going on Twitter, my God.
Yeah, I mean, you lost me at it's all over Twitter. Okay.
What, is there something wrong with Twitter now? Since
There's
when?
nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it.
No. What are you talking about?
Jack is a good dude. I like that.
Let's quickly a moment to appreciate our tech
pros. Now, did I freeze?
Overlords.
The 2 Jim Carrey dance. That's just I've seen it 100 billion times already.
That, like the ending, there's like a stinger with some pink lady that shows up and saves the day. And
that's Amy.
Okay. Sure. Not too familiar with the Sonic lore.
Well, I've continued playing like the new Sonic games, so those characters are all over that stuff. But yeah, it was another 5.5 mil. Hey, 447 million globally, man. This is quite the delicious little franchise here. And Idris Elba, very funny as Knuckles. Put that out there. All right, continuing. Something I wanted to see. It's doing very well. I love that a big comedy is just in theaters. One of Them Days with Keke Palmer and SZA in its second weekend here. Really loving this. Another $8 million. You're looking at 25 million domestic, a nice 32% drop. So that's a decent hold. People are coming out to see this. See big comedies in the theaters. Hell yes. This is great news for audiences and Sony Pictures alike.
For sure.
So here we go. Chris, just to volley back your no one gave a shit about the number 2 at the box office in its 6th week, and not that the box office is amazing this weekend, but it is in its 6th week at number 2, still churning along here with $8.7 million, a global total of $627 million. This movie, from its opening weekend to right now, has made 6 times its opening weekend gross. I would say maybe if you're not interested in it, plenty of people have seen this movie.
It's been parents, like it's been my friends and stuff who I've been like, they usually will say like, "Oh man, we had to take the kid to see Moana 2." Yeah. They'll say stuff like that. I haven't heard from any of them going and bringing their kid to Mufasa. Like that's just not been. And maybe it's just my group of friends, but it's been amazing that that's been the one that I haven't heard anything about.
I haven't heard anything about it either. I didn't even see a trailer before any of the movies I've been going to see, maybe because I go to weird movies, but and also all, the scuttlebutt on the streets, You're not going
to see a Mufasa trailer in front of those skid flicks, Eric. Sorry.
Right. But when I'm walking down the street to there, passing multiple schools, I hear no one going, Mufasa, Mufasa, Mufasa.
Yeah. Sure. Add AI tribute to James Earl Jones in that by any chance? Anybody have that? Like
that's not on Twitter?
not yet.
That part, no. The whole first 30 minutes and the last 45 are on there though.
Well, I would imagine because that dude clearly had no problem selling his voice rights for like Darth Vader and whatever the fuck. I bet if he was like, yes, you may do AI James Earl Jones for Mufasa. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So then maybe it's a thing where it's like, it starts off like, let me tell you the story of how I became the first Lion King. Or it would not shock me. I have not heard that though. And I feel like if something that ghoulish were to exist in that film, we would have heard about it by now.
That's a fair point.
But yeah, Chris, I don't know. Maybe all your friends just hate Barry Jenkins.
It's possible. I don't know.
We're not going to go show our kids a Barry Jenkins movie.
They don't seem to be that way, but hey, who knows?
And then at number 1 for the week fish of a fucking weekend it was at the box office. We're going to review it in just a minute. But good God, Flight Risk.
Uh-oh.
Y'all need a pilot coming in at $12 million.
I had no idea that was the tagline on the poster. That's hilarious.
What is the tagline?
The poster says y'all need a pilot on.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Y'all need a pilot.
Y'all.
Do you think because he actually shaved his head for this movie, that was his like, I'm going method, bro. I'm shaving my head into a shoehorn.
Yeah, probably.
Here comes the Oscar.
Oh man.
Here comes my Oscar.
Yeah, for doing the and they even call it a Larry the Cable Guy voice in the movie. So there it is.
That's fantastic.
Oh, someone says that he sounds like Larry the Cable Guy in the movie?
I think he refers to it himself. I think he calls himself.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well, you got to get ahead of it. You don't want people making fun of you. You can own the joke then if you do it first.
I was hoping for some powerful farts after that one, Chris. Like, that's why the plane's rocking.
There's a lot of shit talking it, so.
Yeah, so 12
Yo,
million.
bro, you ever fought so hard that the Celtics missed a 3-pointer?
He had.
See?
25 million globally, though, you know, for a movie with 3 people in it that I don't really go to movies to see, directed by a guy I don't go to see movies he directed.
No.
I don't know. It seems like a real rental to me, but we will review it just in one quick second. But first up, we are just 2 days away, y'all, from our first worldwide digital event of the year. That's right, this Thursday.
Yes.
Not want to miss us. Talking Ghostbusters Frozen Empire live on the internet. The scroll below here is all the ticketing information. I just rewatched this last night, and we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun on Thursday night, folks.
It's okay to like a movie, but we're just gonna have fun with it, and it's gonna be a really great night of rowdy boy behavior, which you love.
I'm gonna lose track of how many fucking Ghostbusters are in there. There's just so many Ghostbusters,
dude. You look at that final scene, and there's so many gray jumpsuits. There's so I thought it was like a prison yard. Like,
just you know what? Let's just take 2 on British Inventor Kid. Let's just say we never did it. Let's just say we never did it.
I'm agreeing without seeing the movie yet. I have not seen this yet.
This is disgusting. You're not excited about podcasts, new brethren such as Instagram, Facebook, social media, all the new Ghostbusters out there.
It's been a while. Podcast does return, right?
Podcast return.
Podcast is back, baby.
Thank God.
In a big
he's
way.
Spending this summer living in Dan Aykroyd's basement.
That's an hour. That's an hour of content, folks.
Exactly right. I will say, I think that the movie is better than Afterlife because it would almost have to be.
It is.
There is good stuff in there, but just like your favorite Marshmallow friend, that shit is overstuffed.
Sure.
So we will be talking about it all Thursday night. And don't worry, if you can't make it at 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, the show's available for replay for 14 days after the fact, everybody. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Moment.co/we8movies. And just while we're here plugging stuff, this is a low-res graphic, but the first night of our 3-night residency, the Oxford Comedy Festival, show 1 is this graphic I found on their website. We're doing Animation Damnation, the first thing up in this residency that is featuring We Hate Movies, We Love Movies, Animation Damnation, The Nexus, and you guessed it, the Star Wars Gleep Glossary. It's going to be loads of fun. This is a very exciting moment for us here at the show. It's going to be great. So those tickets, WHMpodcast.com. Click on that tour page. What do you got, Steve?
We are moving our forces into Europe, and you want to welcome us. You know what I mean? Like, because if we get resistance, we might push back and go all the way back to America. You know what I mean? Like,
we will have boots on the ground.
Thank you.
We demand respect, and I want to see representatives of all those so-called European countries there. I mean, better see a German. I better see a Swede. And the rest.
We're absolutely going to be. I mean, depending on how big these shows are, we're immediately going to move in and tour Poland. I think that's
absolutely.
We've just got to move into there real quick and take that over real quick.
A blitz through Europe. There. You're saying?
Yes, a quick one. A quick AD blitz.
Yeah, it's our fucking Sorry About America tour. And also, hey, while we're over there, slip us the name of some, quiet yet friendly towns that don't ask too many questions, just in case we need to flee and relocate with our families.
What are the cheapest houseboats that I can keep on your rivers? That's generally what I need to know. That's not. I don't know exactly how taxes work in this situation. We can talk about that.
Sure.
But that's the first information I need to know. I am buying a house there.
Yeah, you're just gonna fucking, float on down the Rhine, dude.
If it's
like
a raft, that's fine as well.
I like where this is going.
And of course, just a reminder, we, sort of are just gonna be plugging it nonstop. But if you're looking for ways to promote the show and you also want to do some good at the same time, head over to our merch store, where this year we're donating all of the proceeds from our merch store each quarter to Center for Reproductive Rights. Clearly more and more of an urgent issue as we're in day 7 of our 4-year journey here. So, again, it's a great way to plug the show, tell your friends about the show, help us expand the mission of the show, but also do a lot of good on the side. So head over to our website. There's a merch link there. It takes you right to our store. Tons of designs in that store, bits, tour art. A lot of it is done by Felipe Sobero, our good buddy in art there. So check that shit out. We highly encourage you to get down on helping out with that. So that is it for the plugs. Again, all this can be found on our website, but let's get into it. Let's get a little on-screen review. Chris and Eric, you were the only ones to take the flight risk.
Y'all need an audience?
Clearly not. I mean,
clearly yes. It only made $12 million.
Finding something.
I spent the back half of this movie texting like a storm.
Oh, really?
Perfect for that. We had some internal scheduling stuff come up, and I wasn't going to wait for flight risk to end. And there was like no one there practically. So upstate New York in the daytime. So.
Yeah. It was barely anybody in mine too. There was maybe 3 up front and like an elderly couple all the way and back, probably getting handsy with each other during the steamier portions of this movie.
Mel made the movie.
He's yelling. His eyes are fixed and dilated, yet he still talks.
Take my teeth out and then put them back in.
So is this movie not fun? Is that my?
It's not.
It's not good. It's not fun. I don't think. I mean, I guess mileage may vary on the fun aspect.
Sure.
It depends on how much you like Mark Wahlberg going really for it. Like the trailer does not lie. He's doing like about as take it to 11 as you can.
Chris, let me ask you this: is there a Mark Wahlberg performance that exists already that you could compare this to as far as the insane intensity or whatever?
I mean, the more intense moments of 1996's Fear.
Okay. All right.
Oh, wow. Okay.
When he gets crazy in that movie, that's about as close as I can. I mean, like, again, there are all these movies he's made that I've either not seen or have seen and immediately deleted from all of the. The data banks have been wiped.
A little overselling it. He spends a lot of the movie just tied up in the back. The thing is, I on paper this movie should make sense to me, and I should like it because I like these contained thrillers. I think it's a fun idea. But we never really get out of stock character territory. You know nothing about Topher Grace besides that he has a mother.
Wow. Okay.
Don't we all? And then
she's in peril, Eric. That's also important.
And I feel like there's not enough nuance there. Like, expand these characters. And also, like, I found Michelle Dockery to be particularly wooden.
Yeah.
In this
Dude,
performance.
What's crazy is like I liked her on Downton, and I feel like that sort of stiffness or that like appropriateness, like fit for the Lady Mary character, of course, but I've just seen her in other movies, including a movie that takes place entirely on a plane also, where I'm like, I just don't know. Like, I don't have any goodwill against her, but it's like, I don't know if it's an agent thing or these are the offers or what.
With this, I think part of it was her I've got to do the American accent.
Yeah, that's
I'm an American cop. Get down.
And that's also like because of the like usually I'm like, oh fuck, a nice runtime, not too crazy, but like because of that, like so much of this is plot and because it's being delivered by her mostly, like you disengage constantly, and then like Topher Grace give it some nice like moments that are like funny or at least like have some character to it. The same thing with Wahlberg, but like at some point I'm just like I know how this ends. I know that where this is going.
Right.
Fear is better than a Flight Risk. No question.
Wow.
Okay. But also the bigger thing, and I don't know, Eric, I guess because you were texting, you probably didn't see the back half, but like there are at least 3 images in this that I am like 100% sure are AI generated.
I think
and
you're
like
right.
I'm sure
the motel shot
at
before
the start.
At the very start.
The snowy motel.
Yes, that seemed the moose. I think almost undeniably, like the moose looks so bad.
But at the same time, we're now in this uncanny valley with these effects that I'm like, is it AI or is it just really bad CGI?
I think at least with this one, I could tell the difference, because then there is in the back half, you probably weren't seeing it. There is a shot of a bunch of emergency vehicles like going down a runway essentially, and they cut from what are clear like effects shots to this one shot of them going up and then like panning up to see another plane quickly going over. The way it moves, the way it's lit, it looks distinctly like an AI thing rather than somebody, even if it's badly crafted, still crafted by somebody.
Right. So you're saying it's undeniably not just like shitty CGI, but well, let me ask you this about the moose you said.
Yeah.
Clear indicator there if it's CGI. That moose got 5 legs?
That's a great question.
It's a close up of a moose. It's not the whole moose.
That moose got 3 antlers?
It's quick. Like that again, like it's for quick shots that you're not supposed to pick up on, but there's like there's a look to AI stuff it's the light that it's very particular. And those were the 3 where I was like, that feels like the real thing. I mean, Snakes on a Plane also much better movie. Like not it. Turbulence is of course the king. I mean, Turbulence.
Oh, that's or is it Turbulence 3 Heavy Metal?
I haven't seen the sequels of Poor Me.
But I mean, this movie feels particularly cheap. It's really cheap.
Bad. Like it's bad even by what you were expecting. Like because the Topher Grace stuff isn't even fun. Like you could feel like they could have done something funny with him, but really he's just like the anchor. He's the one like. Ultimately, if it has heart, it's with Topher Grace.
Well, he's like some sort of like snitch. Is that the idea? He's in protective custody.
Yeah, like it's like a TV episode. Like, oh, he's gonna rat on the mafia, and we have to protect him from the mafia.
That's exactly maybe this is like an episode of FBI or something.
Yes, exactly.
That's like, what this feels like. It feels like, oh, that's a good episode of FBI.
Yeah,
that's all this is.
Then I think it's perfectly appropriate. Our buddy Bucyrus in the chat says this sounds like a 45-minute movie
stretched out somehow. It's pretty short though, right, Chris?
Like 90 minutes. It's
okay. Looking it up now, 91, but those credits hit probably 85.
Oh, sure.
They take their
you got to get all the fucking AI artist shit credited, so or just a bunch of names that you're faking are CGI people.
And then you have a lot of the movie. A good amount of it is like someone telling her how to fly the plane. So
one of those.
And because it's Gibson, they of course he has to push back on the man. So there's a lot of pretty ghastly rape jokes. Prison rape specifically, and then like just a lot of Mark Wahlberg talking about shitting and like pooping.
Can I just because Mel had a week, as we know. He had this thing, and Tucker Carlson had this thing also, which is a very bizarre idea, which is Trump's here and Daddy's home, and he's gonna take his belt off, and he's gonna show everybody what's gonna happen, and like. It's a hard image. Like let's just take the weird sex stuff out of there. Let's just pretend that's not even
difficult. That's difficult.
It is. It's
oil and water. I don't know, but
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he's not getting incredibly horny while fantasizing about this, which I'm sure he is.
I think he is.
They definitely are. Yeah.
But
hard as the rock.
So then, what are obviously all the libs and the gays are the ones that are gonna get beat. And the Republicans are the shitty brother that's like, you're gonna get it. Like from it's just how is that how do you want to be that? Why do you want to wake up and be? I want to be A, an abusive family, and B, the little brother that loves that his older brother's getting the shit kicked out of him. How is that something we want in America?
Because that older brother is having fun, isn't he?
Yeah,
you might not understand it. You might not.
You're gonna get it. You're gonna get us yelled at a lot over this.
Yes, I'm good. I'm glad.
Okay.
I just feel like if you are going to be like assigned to fix Hollywood or whatever,
sure.
One of the prerequisites should be like you have to star in movies that people see. And if you're just a dude who's like king of the 5-minute appearance in a DTV movie, like what the fuck sway do you have? That's what I think is so funny about this is like nobody fucking gives a shit about those guys. Like fucking Megalopolis was the first time anyone seriously thought about Jon Voight as an actor, and who the fuck knows how long since whatever that first season of that Liev Schreiber show.
I would say since he bit Kramer's arm, honestly, which is my favorite.
that is his best performance. That's true,
and that's around Enemy of the State. So yeah, that's about that's where he really hit the thing. And Mel, honestly, if he was going to do this, he should have done this right when he got all those Hacksaw Ridge nominations. That's like if you were going to bring it back, like when you had a little bit of sway, the people were still supporting you in that moment. So you know what? But you missed it. You did it around high fucking flight risk.
Okay, so you're saying he should have said the daddy comments around?
Yeah.
Around Hacksaw Ridge?
Yeah, I think that's probably.
Daddy's gonna beat you up, and I'm gonna watch.
Well, it's just nothing but grievance politics. It's just like I want to see someone that's not me get hurt, and that's all I vote for.
Because nothing's gonna get fixed. Nothing's gonna get better for me.
It
I hope it
matter.
gets worse for you. Therefore, I am now elevated by your worseness. I mean,
the price of eggs is going up, and that is supposed to be the thing. Because every American, and for our Oxford listeners, please come to that show. But every American, to explain to you, drinks 5 gallons of milk a day.
Yep.
They eat 24 eggs a day. An American.
Yeah,
that's why these need to be dirt cheap.
Yes, and that's why Mel Gibson has meth eyes all the time. That's just how that happens.
It's too much yolk.
It's a lot of eggs.
Meth eyes. Let's take a turn, shall we?
That's my fault. I'll take the responsibility for that one.
You sure will, and your punishment will be to review fucking Wolfman, dude.
Jesus Christ! What a dull affair! What a dull waste of.
It's wild, right? Because this is on the not on the heels, but the last one of these was Invisible Man, which was incredible. So what happened here, Steve?
It's just it's your classic. We're putting trauma over horror, and you're never gonna win.
Sure.
It's just we're trying to make this an issue movie, but even that it fails at because I think Whannell really he wants to do 2 things. He wants to do one. Here's my issue movie. It's about generational trauma, especially through masculinity, through men passed down, and how it affects the nuclear family unit, which he fails at because he also wants to make a Wolfman. Like, this ain't your daddy's Wolfman, and it's so not your daddy's Wolfman. It takes place in one night. So it's just a one crazy night movie. So any and all of the transformational, like,
in one
cool
house
stuff, that would happen. It doesn't happen in the movie. It's just like, and it actually excuses our Chris Abbott from any of his behavior. It's like, oh, well, he got bit by the fucking wolf. Everyone knows, like, oh, that guy's a fucking werewolf. You know what I mean? It's not like, what's going on? Why is daddy snapping at me? Like, any of that stuff could have been interesting, but it's not that fucking movie.
I think they at least think they resolved that in the quote unquote the most obvious fucking twist in the fucking what happens towards the end of it. I mean, the thing what I liked about it was like the transformational stuff about it, like it focusing on like the slow transformation, like what it looks like, doing the perspective shots, stuff like that is interesting, but like it doesn't go anywhere. It takes forever to get to where like a story actually starts, and like I thought like the transformation stuff made me think it was trying to do like a Fly thing. Like, it's going to do a slow build. But then like also you need to believe that Chris Abbott and Judy Greer?
Jennifer Garner.
Sorry.
No.
Nope. Julia Garner.
Julia Garner. Yeah, we got it all.
There you
go.
I just don't like, if you're going to do something like that, you have to do a little bit more with their relationship. And I just kind of felt like nothing doing.
Because we set it up. There's like a pretty decent, an actual setup, like where he's going to her job and he's like, we're not doing well, etc. And then it just turns into this thing where he gets bit by a werewolf, and she's like, he's getting worse. He's getting worse. And it's like, yeah, I know. What next? I mean, like, there's
right.
And the thing is, like, I don't need to. There's no scares in it, man. Like, and like, we're entering this world, and I'm glad The Substance got nominated. I think Demi Moore is a really brave performance. It's cool to see horror get nominated, but I get nervous about it because, like, what are we learning from what movies and stuff like that? I just don't want horror.
That's a really great point.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want horror to become just, a dull affair. I want these things to be fucking scary. I want that to be front and center in a horror movie.
Right. I mean, it should in a horror movie, the horror should always be front and center. And yeah, if it's not, your movie's fucking DOA, man. That was my problem with Heretic. Heretic was actually pretty intense and scary until you get past the point where like they have to show you something and it has no idea how to scare you.
So is this like elevated horror attempts?
Yes,
it's an attempt. It's a little bit more physical, so I give it credit on that front. The last two Whannell movies are also very physical.
Yeah.
In what they're talking about, and I like that about him. But like, it just what it builds to. You get the big scare was the trailer. The trailer you saw where the car happens and the whole thing happened. Yep. Like that's the biggest. And then there's like towards the end, there's some other stuff, including the most ridiculous twist in the world. But like that stuff is kind of exciting, but it's just not enough to balance out in a 90-minute. It's a very quick movie. Like to do all that in a 9-minute, it just doesn't work. Like you need to something else has to give. You either have to do more with the relationship, or I have to have more action. Where
use the cycle of the moon. That's what the fucking story is. You know what I mean? And like, we're not doing that. It's all one night, and there's no time to explore anything, and it's over.
Yeah.
That's not great. I was just reminded of it's actually kind of funny now that I think about it, but there's a One Crazy Night werewolf movie that came out, I think it was like the tail end of last year, maybe very early this year. I don't remember. With what's his name? Frank Creature Commandos. Frank Grillo. I think the movie is literally just called Werewolves.
I wanted to see that.
It's a movie about like there was a crazy thing that like some sort of space event happened and everyone on the planet, like billions of people, turned into werewolves like overnight, and it was crazy. And so this has now set up, it's like a year after that, and it's kind of now like a purge scenario where everybody's like, hey, we know a lot of people are going to be turning into werewolves, we're all battening down the hatches, everybody stay inside for the night, kind of a deal. And that kind of works. I mean, it's not trying to like say anything, but it is like a One Crazy Night werewolf movie, but it's like pure fucking, slightly cheesy, but still pretty fun, like practical effects and stuff. Frank Grillo, pretty entertaining in it. I'd recommend it.
I just looked up the cast. Lou Diamond Phillips. Wow.
Yes. Oh yeah. Lou Diamond Phillips. Spectacular ending to his character.
I think that's also why I'm so down on this movie, is because one, I really liked Invisible Man and Upgrade as well. And two, I feel like the Wolfman genre is woefully underseen. We get so many vampires, so few werewolves. I just want more werewolf movies.
Eggers' next movie.
Yeah,
Werewolf.
Right.
Yeah, that's how they call it.
Which I'm picturing is like his version of like a vampire kind of adaptation, because it's set in like the 1500s.
I feel like he was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do another werewolf movie just so fast after Leigh. Oh, okay, no, I'm good. You just then he went, yeah, I'm gonna.
That sucks shit. Don't worry, I'll do it better.
He has also, I mean, like I would also be doing it because like he has a hit on his hands right now. And like I'd be like, sell, get as much fucking scripts in and like stamped, we'll do this as you possibly can. I will say Larry Fassenden apparently has a good one out. I have not seen it, called Blackout.
Okay.
I had a couple people tell me it was pretty good. I do want to check it out.
Yeah, Larry Fassenden, man, that dude, there's a reason that guy like holds the seat where he does. That guy's got great ideas here and there. I was gonna ask another question about Wolfman, and now I can't remember. Someone in the chat, I think we have like some newer listeners, by the way. We did the Mike Nichols movie Wolf with Jack Nicholson 1,000 years ago. That is on the Patreon archive. So Don't worry, we covered that bad boy. That movie better than this movie by any chance?
Probably.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, the Jack Nicholson one is
yes,
much better.
The thing that the rip about werewolf movies, because you're right, Steve, like they are fewer and farther between. It's because they're just more expensive. Like when you have a shit-looking werewolf in your movie, it's way more to the movie's detriment than having like a shitty-looking vampire. Like
right, because a vampire can just be a guy.
A guy with teeth.
Just some guy.
It's just a guy.
Teeth effects. That's all you need. And like, and when you get a computer werewolf, the worst thing.
Yeah, that's tough. Someone in the chat asks, "Is the Marielle Heller movie Night Bitch a werewolf movie?" No, it's not. Save your time. It's not really much of anything.
No, it's a couple ideas, and they just kind of shat out.
Yeah. So I'd love to see more werewolf shit, but this just sounds like a straight up rental from hell.
Yeah, it's a skip at best.
Skip at best. Here's something that I decided to catch, just sort of called an audible yesterday. I was going to go see Flight Risk. Kind of happy with the decision I made. Keeping the horror train going, kind of. It's the new one from Steven Soderbergh.
I wanted to see this. Yeah,
I really want to see this.
Is the name of the motion picture. This was part of the trio of bad scheduling shit that happened at Toronto, where it was this movie, the Cronenberg movie, and the Schrader movie.
Yep.
All one press screening, all at the same time. So I had to make some decisions there. But I was still glad that I saw this in a theater, though. So this is Steven Soderbergh from a script by David Koepp. And it's a very simple story. A family moves into a house. The daughter has recently lost a friend to a drug overdose. So she's really down and having a hard time of it. And there is a presence in the house. And the whole movie is just the camera is the ghost. And it's all these like really intricate long takes of this family being in this house. It's kind of segmented, like it sort of just will like black out and then some time will pass and then you're in like the next movement of it. But as like a technical thing, it's really cool, man. I love that Soderbergh is still experimenting like this, it's short also, which is great. But
when Soderbergh puts down the iPhone, I get interested. When it's like, all right, hey, there we go, camera. Let's do it.
Yeah,
let's make a movie.
It's kind of, I guess, maybe somewhere in the middle then, because it is slightly gimmicky in the sense that it is just this POV the entire time. My beef with it was like the story is just a little bit underbaked. Like if you were eating the cupcake of this movie, you'd be like, yeah, I can put it down, but wish this had like another minute or so in the oven. Because there's some stuff that like they're setting up that's actually sort of interesting with like Lucy Liu's character. Like she's the mom and it's this, she clearly has like, it's one of those parent things where it's like she's had the vision for the one child and is like doing all she can to make sure like the son is successful and like the daughter's kind of fallen behind sort of because of that. And like the dad is favoring the daughter. The dad, I want to look up the guy's name. He's really fantastic. It's weird. Like Lucy Liu's the only name.
It's the guy from The Nick, I think. The big guy, right?
Yes. Yeah. He plays the father and just absolutely fantastic performance. The kids are both good. The daughter is in it has a little more to do than the son does, but it's cool. And at the same time, like there are some parts that you're sitting there, and again, why I think it's important to see something like this in the theater, despite the fact that it's like a smaller in scale movie, you do sort of get like tuned in to that POV and you're with it. And then like every once in a while, it does some like weird things where you're like, oh, that's kind of eerie. You know what I mean? Like it's not overtly trying to scare the pants off of you or anything like that. But it does simultaneously invoke like, the eeriness of all that. But then at the same time, it also invokes, and it's because of the POV, you come to understand this or sort of feel it a little bit, the fucking loneliness of being a ghost, honestly. And like being like, because it starts with like before they move in and the ghost is just kind of like tooling around this empty house. And I don't know if this hit the same way for other people, but I was sitting in the theater and I just had this sense of like, Jesus, that fucking sucks. Like how much would it suck to be a ghost? And then like that night I go home and I watch Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, where there's literally a scene where Dan Aykroyd tells a little girl that every day of his life he thinks about what it would be like to be a ghost because he really wants to do it. And I'm like, no, Dan Aykroyd, see this movie.
Well,
Yeah,
we're all going to be ghosts soon, including
That's
Dan
right.
Aykroyd, maybe even sooner than us, but you'll get there and you'll be a presence. It sounds cool, though. I like that. It sounds nice and eerie.
Yeah, and a great comparison here. Greg Baffuto in the chat mentions a ghost story. It's less offbeat than that. You know, the weirdest thing about it is that you are in the POV of a ghost, but I loved A Ghost Story. I think it's a fantastic movie, but it's not a 1-to-1, but I could totally see that. And if that was like maybe turning some people off, like this is not that. Although I wish someone in this movie just fucking sat on the kitchen floor and ate a whole chocolate cake in one take. That would be that would be really fantastic. But no, it's a big recommend. It actually, funny enough, had a better per screen average this weekend than Wolfman. Wolfman had a terrible fall down. It did not hold in well.
Not surprised.
The word about is bad.
Yeah, it has not been doing well.
Just putting it like pretty much up against. We still got Nosferatu fever going.
Yeah,
on.
we do. We're talking vampires here.
Yeah, you got to spread those creepers out.
Yeah, wondering if now that August is like kind of not that traditional like horror dumping ground anymore. Like we're trying to see what the real estate looks like in January, because it has been kind of crowded with all this horror.
Rory Sherd has an interesting point here, but the Slimer is the best ghost. Presence needed him. Now thinking about, you get the POV, but you're Slimer the whole time. So a bunch of hot dogs are going into the camera. You know what I mean? Like,
they're like sticking out of the camera.
Yes, exactly. And it's just
totally, you're like eating a bunch of Cheetos, and then like you're palling around with Finn Wolfhard in the attic.
Oh, I think this is just our regular POV.
Yeah, eating hot dogs and Cheetos. Like, yeah, I know what that looks like. I got that.
Yeah,
looking down, just seeing it all dumped out underneath you. That would be very nice.
No, Andrew,
I dump it out.
But you're floating, so it's different. You know what I mean? Like, it's like
that's true. Yeah, that's. It's actually the funny thing too. I just had a thought to complain about something not specifically related to Presence, but it's Neon, which I believe this other movie is too, if I'm not mistaken. And then if I am, I'm just complaining for nothing. But that Jack Quaid, what's her face movie, Companion?
Yes.
I got to tell you right now, if you haven't yet,
did that movie come out yet or no?
No, but it's coming out soon. And I'll tell you now, if you haven't yet, avoid the full length trailer like the plague. I was wrong. It's a New Line Cinema, but I'm going to complain about this anyway.
Yes.
Avoid that trailer like the fucking plague, because like there was a great teaser.
Yes.
Great teaser. Like, it's just weird. You have no idea what's going on. And all they had to do was just beat people over the head with that eerie teaser, and you would drum up more intrigue. People would want to see it. This trailer spells out everything, and it is so unfortunate.
It's really annoying. It's gotten to the point where, like, literally, I'm really excited for the new The Monkey, the Oz Perkins movie.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And that movie has like 14 trailers going right now. Like, they keep putting new trailers out of it, and when I see it in the theater, I go like this, because I don't want to watch I do not want to watch the trailer. And now I look like I'm scared of it if you're watching it with me. So I'm like, oh no, the monkey's on.
You don't have to even do that. Steve, look, anti-socials know how to do this. Keep your headphones in the whole time.
Yeah, that's
you don't have to just don't. It's easy enough. Just keep them on. You don't have to hear any of this shit.
I heard about this one. This is the Robbie Williams one. Is that right?
No.
You're like, no. I don't want to see it. That's what I do when that trailer comes out. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, totally. It's like no. I'm American. I'm not allowed to be interested in Robbie Williams.
No, I think Chris, you saw that Robbie Williams movie.
The Robbie Williams, look, it's a big dumb idea, and I like that.
Sure.
I do like that, but it's also, that is one of those movies. If you don't love fucking Robbie Williams, then you're not going to like it. And guess what? I do not love Robbie Williams. He's a very entertaining looking fellow. I don't mind rock DJ as far as like radio crap goes, but like, I don't know or like any song outside of those parameters.
Quick question on Better Man then.
Sure.
Does the monkey fuck her? Or...
There is some stuff that would suggest.
Oral?
I was not expecting that question.
Yeah, oral would be a pretty
Eric is just like, On what side, Eric? Now I have questions. Now I have to have questions for you. What side of the oral tenet are we doing?
Does he suck their banana or do they suck his?
There you go.
It's more suggested that someone has sucked his banana.
Got it.
Okay, so it's not necessarily a both sides of the ball situation.
I didn't get that feeling. I did not get that feeling from the movie, but I can't say for sure, Eric. It's more about his relationship with his father.
Got it. Okay.
Ew, you're not supposed to do that with your father.
Oh, that's his stepfather.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's what it's like in their zoo house.
Sure, that's what Brazzers porn parody will be.
In the chat, Fowl was reading my mind. They say calling the movie Better Man just makes them think about Pearl Jam, the Pearl Jam tune. Yep, definitely. That's what I was doing.
What kind of
here right now
beast could Eddie Vedder be?
Ooh,
Eddie Vedder. He's a bear, I think,
or a warthog of some type.
Also, that could work.
Whoa, yeah, I can see a warthog.
Warthog, the tusk, maybe,
yeah, I guess so. I feel like he's a little more laid back though these days. It would be like a not a huge bear, not like a grizzly.
No,
I think, by the way, Big Will over here has got a good question for you, Chris. Is the father in that movie also a monkey?
He is not.
Oh, what so he's just a monkey.
How does that happen?
The
mother was stepping out.
It's not explained at all, Eric. I'll be honest. Nobody.
Right,
it's
are
just
people acknowledging that he's a monkey?
Not really.
Yes, that's where I got problems.
His face. So they made the movie. He was not good in it. His face was non-expressive, so they replaced him with an ape.
They rightly thought, like, look, it's not the UK. Like, he's famous over there.
Yes,
like everybody wants to, like, not everybody, but more people will want to go see the Robbie Williams movie in the UK. In the USA, nobody gives a shit. Like, of course, no, and like that is part of the joke of using the ape because they're like, oh well, it's just an ape movie. Like, it's part of the joke, and like again. Yes, a big dumb idea, and I like big dumb ideas, but it needs more than that. And like,
anyone of note doing the ape mocap there?
I don't
he's
believe
doing it,
so.
right?
Yes, you're right. It is Robbie Williams doing it.
He played his own monkey?
You got to play your own monkey if it's your biopic.
I don't. There might be for like certain scenes. He might have had somebody else come in for like stunts and stuff like that. But I think he did portions.
That's an inspirational poster. It's your biopic. Play your own monkey.
Yes,
just like
there you go. Yeah, and it's this Robbie Williams monkey like hanging, by one arm like a hanging there kitty poster.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing is, I kind of do feel like Eddie Vedder. I said bear and warthog's not bad, but he also would probably be an ape. He would have to be a monkey of some sort. I feel just a different kind.
Well, they finally made a monkey out of me.
Maybe like get a gorilla. Get him be a gorilla. That would be great.
Ooh.
As a full-on gorilla, that'd be great.
Coming up to the top of the hour here, just wanted to inundate you guys with some Star Trek talk here, because I know none of you are going to see it, and that's fine. I wouldn't really recommend it to any of you here.
Boy.
Oh, right.
Section 31. This movie, I got to tell you, I read a thing. It was like a write-up of it that was like in the first Star Trek movie since Star Trek Beyond, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. And indeed, this is a canceled spin-off of Star Trek Discovery that they made into a 95-minute. It's clearly a TV pilot. You stitched it together, and if they're using this as like a sort of a barometer to see like, hey, would people be interested in a Section 31 spin-off show? Like, it's not my most interesting part of the Trek lore, but it's fine enough. Like this on its own as a thing is fine, but like you're just sitting there like, this is a TV movie. She's got like a little team of people that they're all just written like NCIS team character. It's that kind of shit.
Sure.
Like, so it so feels like a TV show. It's a little violent here and there, which is
what's going to make people really excited about your project? Make it sound like a bill that they have to understand, that they're going to vote for on Tuesday that nobody knows about.
Yes, of course. This Section 31, if you've read here, clearly Section 31 indicates that the egg prices will stay the same.
It is something that is understood by like Trek fans only.
Okay.
It's Section 31 is this like top secret part of Starfleet where like they basically are the antithesis of Starfleet, which is why I kind of don't like it. But it's all like when you got a dirty job to do and you don't want to smear the reputation of Starfleet, Section 31 does it. And you're like,
it's your Suicide Squad kind of situation.
I mean, this does indeed kind of play Suicide Squad-esque with some of the characters and their fates, you know. It is a real like for real you know, heads only. I mean, specifically for like Discovery heads. If you liked the character that Michelle Yeoh played on Discovery, Philippa Georgiou, like she was great on Discovery, she's great on this. It's just like, I don't know, don't fucking tell me that this is a movie when it's clearly just written and produced with the budget of a television show. There's a moment where I could see, like, in the writing, they were like, we have this really great idea for this cool action scene that's like going down this like sort of like a mine shaft kind of thing. And we're all on these platforms and they're whizzing really fast and blah, blah, blah. And it's a cool idea that looks so terrible. Because
they're whizzing?
Yeah, dude, they whip their fucking pricks out and piss all over it.
All right, I'm going to check this out then.
No, but like, you know, they put Indiana Jones and the minecart shit on like an actual set, and that was something. This is like trying to do that with horrendously cheap CGI, and no bueno. But I just wanted to put it out there because I know people know that we dig on track, and this was something that I watched last Friday. Really for the real heads only.
I guess that we're in a weird, like, kind of new golden age of Star Trek content where we've literally got to the point where they're putting Star Trek out, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, I don't even know what the thing is, and I'm like, there's more Star Trek than I could possibly want in my life.
Well, now that's taken care of. I believe there's only one show anymore.
Oh, right.
Discovery ended. Lower Decks got canceled, and so that last season I think is airing now or is done. So you just got Strange New Worlds. Like that's
I said that last year. Okay.
Oh no, just change it to Star Wars and you got it.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, I guess that's the other thing is that, you know, it's a Star Trek thing that they at least put out. So yeah, we're still trying to wheel and deal with Star Trek and see, you know, where it's going and whatever. And I have enjoyed like that run of Lower Decks and Discovery, although that last season of Discovery I thought was really rushed and bad, and it's not their fault. They didn't know they were getting canceled, and it just wound up being a really poor both idea for a final season and just a really poor wrap up, like on the whole. But yeah, you know, I would like to see a little better from my Star Trek than Section 31. So we'll see. But we are just now at the top of the hour, folks. Big week here in the WHMU. Just to remind you about, first up, both on the free feed and the ad-free Patreon tomorrow, we're talking Bad Boys Ride or Die. This is the final episode of a month that has been, let's not get it twisted, just shit we wanted to talk about. It's not worst of 2024. We could not have been more explicit if we tried. So this puts a cap on that. It was a good discussion about the fourth and likely not final Bad Boys movie.
And by the way, why don't you listen to that whole episode, because we announce what the theme month of February will be. And it's a secret theme month that nobody knows about.
It's secret. And by the way, I want to quickly plug something for the Patreon that month that is not going to spoil the theme. For the Gleep Glossary, I'm going to cover Lobot. And we're going to also include at least my thoughts on the Skeleton Crew. You can hear my complete thoughts.
I'll be right there with you. I have to finish the final episode, but I'll be able to do that, to weigh in on that Gleep Glossary entry. But speaking of Star Trek, by the way, a Thursday, which is a big day, of course, do not forget, first and foremost, the Frozen Empire show happening 9 p.m. Eastern, talking about that bad boy. But releasing earlier that day on the Patreon, it's the January edition of The Nexus.
Look at that guy. Look at that slippery motherfucker up there.
Yeah.
Anzi.
I don't know what Kirk has in his hand there. It looks like a mustard bottle, which is very funny.
Maybe a hot dog.
The TNG is Geordie LaForge joins the incel movement. What is the absolute worst characterization of Geordie LaForge ever fucking filmed? Real bad. But both of those coming out on Thursday. Again, yes, the show on Thursday. More important, I'd say. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's going to be completely live. You're going to be able to watch us do an episode for the whole thing. There's an after party where we get tipsy and stupid.
That's right.
It's
Stupider.
absolutely true.
So tune in.
But that is going to do it for this week. We hope to see you Thursday night, folks, or in the 14 days after that replay. Otherwise, we'll be back next Monday here at noon to talk more box office and review, hopefully, some better movies, but we will see. But until next time, I've been Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Siska.
Chris Cabin.
Take it easy. Have a great week, y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye.